I keep second guessing my performance and thinking, is it good enough?
Those are good questions. Let us walk and talk in the desert and discuss them. This is my first time doing this, so I don't know what I'm doing. First, for the breath, if you are responsible and handling your own editing and or post-production, how you tackle the breath is part of the process. So there are several options that can be utilized. One is to physically control the breathing technique so that you can minimize the breath through inhalation so you don't have huge gaspers. You can turn the head slightly off axis of the microphone. You can try to minimize those inhales so they're not as loud. That's one method. Another method is to utilize technology. So it looked like you were using Adobe Audition, which does accept VST plugins. And there is a multitude of plugins that can be utilized to automatically minimize the breath. So Waves Deep Breath is a popular one, and you can use them to minimize breath or omit it entirely without having to go in and edit every breath out manually. Because workflow and the time spent in production is important because that reflects how much you earn. Additionally, if you're utilizing the punch and roll technique, you can take a deep breath, narrate a few sentences, stop the recording, take another breath, and narrate a few more sentences. So this is something that you can do throughout the duration of the narration. It eventually becomes natural, so then it becomes a lot easier. So that is the technique that I typically use. And you can then choose which breaths to omit, those that don't support the performance. Sometimes, especially in dialogue, the breath imparts elements of performance that are necessary in audiobook narration. However, the more important question that you brought up, how do I know if it's good enough? And does anyone else have that problem? Yes, is the simple answer. Many of us have that problem as creative talents and in other moments and elements of our lives. I've been a narrator for 13 or 14 years now. I've won an Audie, I've won 7 earphone awards, and every day I wrestle with the crushing weight of self-doubt. Am I good enough? Have I done enough? Have I performed well enough? So these are things that bother all of us, and it's hard to shake it. It's part of our human experience in the art form. So ultimately, what it takes is we need to realize and accept that what we do, what we produce, what we create, is a snapshot in time. It's a measurement, a benchmark of who we are and what we are and where we are in our journey at that moment in time. And we have to learn to be okay with that, as long as we are striving to continuously improve. We are working to have positive improvement in our journey as creative talent, as narrators, as human beings. So if we put forward that good faith effort, then what we do and what we accomplish with our skills and talent and vision at that time, the answer then becomes, is it good enough? Did I do good? Was I good? The answer is yes, as long as we can keep those things in mind and we strive to continue to improve. Now, through the larger lens of did we achieve a particular objective, or did we make something work the way we wanted it to work or accomplish, well, that deserves closer scrutiny. But to overcome the idea of was I good enough, the relative comparison to others, to where we believe we should be, to who we believe we are, is yes, I am trying and striving my very best to do my very best. And understanding that I and you are fallibly human, and that our experiences grow and shape us and inform us, then what you do in your performance in that moment as a benchmark of where you are is good enough.